While saying goodbye to his sister Ophelia, Laertes warns her not to trust Hamlet's declaration of love. Polonius enters the room and gives Laertes tender advice on how to behave in France. After Laertes leaves, Polonius questions his daughter. Agreeing with Laertes, he forbids her to speak to Hamlet.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convey his assistance, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
For Hamlet, in the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature.
No more but so.
Think it no more, for nature crescent does not grow alone, enthused in bulk, but as this temple waxes, the inward service of the mind and soul grows it wide withal. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil, nor coddle doth besmirch the virtue of his will, but you must fear his greatness weighed, his will is not his own. For he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and the health of this whole state, and therefore must his choice be circumscribed, and to the voice and yielding of that body, whereof he is the head. Then if he says he loves you, it fits your wisdom so far to believe it, as he, in his particular act and place, may give his saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain, if to credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia, fear it, my dear sister, and keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. The chariot's maid is prodigal enough. If she unmasks her beauty to the moon, virtue itself escapes not calumnious strokes. The canker gals the infants of the spring, too oft before their buttons be disclosed, and in the morning liquid dew of youth, contagious blasphements are most imminent. Be wary, then.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman close to my heart. But good, my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whiles, like puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path Dialen's threads, and wrecks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not, I stay too long, but here my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. There my blessing with thee. In these few percepts in thy memory, look thy character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoption tried, grapple them until thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new hatch unfledged courage. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man, and thy in France of the best rank and station. All of a most select and generous chief in that, neither a borrower nor lender be, for long oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all to thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night the day. Thou canst not be false to any man. Farewell, my blessing season, this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invests you. Go your servants tend. What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
Marry well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath every oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, as so 'tis put on me, in that in way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as it behooves my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you shall keep the key of it. So please you, something touching the Lord, Hamlet.
Affection. Puh! You speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe in tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord. What should I think? My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Mary, I will teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you have 10 these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly, or not to crack the wind of the poor phrase, running it thus, your tender me a fool.
Wait a minute. He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me, and hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
A fashion, you may call it. Go to. A springers, to catch woodcocks, I do know. When the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter giving more life than heat, extinct in both, even their promise as it is a making. You must not take for their fire. From this time, be something scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate than the command to Paul. For Lord Hamlet, believe so much in him that he is young, and with a larger tether, may he walk. That may be given to you. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows, for they are brokers, not of that dye which their investments show, but mere implorators of unholy suits, breathing his sanctified and pious bawds, to better beguile. This is for all. I will not in plain terms from this time forth have you slander any moment leisure, as to give words or talk with Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
Farewell. Farewell.